Drama unfolds in the House of Assembly. First tonight on our news live at 7, the opposition removed from Parliament during today's debate on the new fiscal budget. This as the Minister for Grand Bahamas says new collaborations and multi-million-dollar projects making that island the fastest growing in the nation. Also, the Bahamas Union of Teachers opposes government's bi-weekly salary plan, the president urging the Prime Minister to slow down and rethink the decision. Then in our news at 7:30, come and say, "I'm sorry, you'll forgive you." A pastor's appeal to thieves after his church's bus is left on blocks. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Opposition leader Michael Pintard removed from the House of Assembly by police during a heated exchange that temporarily halted the budget debate today. The drama unfolded after Pintard refused to yield on a point of order made during West End and Bimini MP Kingsley Smith's contribution. Pintard interrupted Smith, insisting he was not factual with his statements on the Davis administration's impact on West Grand Bahama. As the opposition leader continued making his point, it led to an exchange with House Speaker Patricia DeVoe, who suspended proceedings and directed officers to remove Pintard. DeVoe telling him that he made his point and it was time for the West Grand Bahama MP to continue his contribution. And here's what happened next.
The point is this, Madam Speaker.
No.
If the
point is this.
No, that's not the point.
The point is this.
That is not the point.
The point is this.
Madam
You made
Speaker,
your
I'm
point.
entitled.
You
no, I
said
did not make the
that
point.
member
I did not
is
make the
not
point.
factual.
I did
You
not make
listed
the
that your
point.
member- that you
I
did a
did
listing
not
of
make the
cleanup.
point.
So we understand that.
I did not. I'm going to speak.
No, you don't tell me no. You don't tell me no. I am the principal officer in this place, and I am saying to you that I heard you, the world heard you, and you listed the fact that he was incorrect. Now, I heard you. I am citing Marco City persistently and willfully obstructing the business of the House. Can I now engage the Sergeant of Arms to have Marco City removed from the Honorable House?
All right, to that, Pintard shouted, "He is not moving." Then Pintard, St. Anne's MP Adrian White, and Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis all linked arms in solidarity.
Well, who wants to go with Marco City? Take them all.
Gotta be fair in here.
I am more than fair. I am more than fair. Y'all are unfair, and are using the floor of this House for unfairness.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Grand Bahama and Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Ginger Moxie, sticking to the Davis administration's message that the budget aims to change the status quo for Bahamians and in particular address age-old legacy challenges that Grand Bahamians in particular have long been advocating for. She says with the introduction of several collaborations, multi-million-dollar projects, and other developments, Grand Bahama is the fastest growing island in the country.
With a 43% overall increase in arrivals and 31.8% increase by year. Events and festivals are happening frequently as we aim to make our island the home of events and entertainment. Buildings are either coming down, going up, or being refurbished and repurposed. Downtown has come back strong. And instead of hearing about deals like O-Ban, we are witnessing Celebration Key come to life.
Yeah.
A development with its first heads of agreement signed by the PLP in 2017.
And Moxie also noting her appointment to a cabinet subcommittee known as Innovate 242. The goal is to position the Bahamas as the center for innovation in the Caribbean, utilizing 4 key pillars. One of them, establishing incubators on several islands, beginning with New Providence, Exuma, and of course, Grand Bahama.
The incubator will also house the Center for Sustainability to create an ecosystem for organizations, both international and local, that focus on research and development in innovation, climate change, sustainability, inclusiveness, and to converge and collaborate to create sustainable master plans for each island with the capacity to expand to the rest of the region. Grand Bahama Island is a model for resiliency, adaptation, and mitigation that can be utilized for research and development for organizations around the world.
And the Bahamas Union of Teachers taking issue with government's plan to switch public servants' salary payments from monthly to bi-weekly. The Prime Minister announced the change in his budget communication on Wednesday. It wasn't sitting well with Union President Belinda Wilson, who's cautioning the Prime Minister to slow down and rethink the decision.
And just in case you forgot, the public service workers are represented by trade unions. Yes, one of which is the Bahamas Union of Teachers. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you forgot to consult with us. Yes, the public sector unions. Or is this another ill-advised directive from the wannabe Minister of Finance?
The announcement came along with a salary review for the public service. The Davis administration allocating $10 million for that review. However, Wilson says she's got many questions for the government, as she says they were never consulted.
When is this proposed change to take effect? How will it work with the persons on medical leave? Has the banking leave days been adjusted? Will salaries now be paid for 13 months? What about the months that have 5 weeks? What about deductions for loans and mortgage payments?
All right, police say a gunman opened fire on a Route 16A bus driver on Blue Hill Road on Thursday morning. The incident happened around 11:30. That's when police say the driver was traveling north on Blue Hill in the area of Chapel Street when the suspect, who was the only passenger, walked up to the driver, shooting him in the upper body. Now, the injured drove to Duke Street and Blue Hill Road, where police say he was able to tell an officer what happened. He was taken to hospital. His condition still unknown up to airtime. Much more to get to tonight. But for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. And a happy Thursday evening, everybody. It's warm and muggy on the outside. Lots of clouds out there. Temperature at 84 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature is a humid 89 degrees. Temperatures around the islands, it's 84 in Freeport, Marsh, Great Harbour, Abaco, Nicholls, San Andros, as well as in Alistown, Bimini. Marsh Harbour, Abaco, you guys are 82. 83 over in Governors Harbour. 82 in Kemps Bay. You have some showers nearby, most of that moving out of the Cuban area. 83 in Nicholls, San Andros, Georgetown, and in Deadman's Key. Coburn Town, San Salvador, 82. And into the southeast Bahamas, 84 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, and in Matthewtown, Inagua. 83 Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, and in Abrahams Bay. Our good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands, you guys are 84 at this hour. Satellite radar composite showing tropical moisture moving out of the Caribbean across the area. That first upper level system, that's well out there in the open Atlantic, but we do have an upper level low that's spinning across or just east of central Florida, and that's helping to destabilize our atmosphere. So we're starting to see some showers and thunderstorms, mainly across the central and portions of the southeast Bahamas as the system continues to pull out towards the north and east. Some of that activity will be moving across the northwest Bahamas. So tomorrow, being a holiday, looks like we're going to see a couple of showers in the forecast. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, we'll tell you the Grand Bahamian and Abaconian chosen as brief scholars, plus learn how the Conservation Agency aims to secure the future of marine science in tonight's Sustainability First. Plus, coming up in world news, the United States says Russian warships en route to the Caribbean for drills. The story when our news returns.
Or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers. One-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
In tonight's edition of Sustainability First, we're talking to the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation about the next generation of marine science experts. And as our Marlena Leonard tells us, there's a new cohort of scholars ready to take the helm.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
We met one of the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation's Bahamas Environmental Stewardship Scholars, Christopher Clark, earlier this year, and now his time with Brief is winding down. Brief's outreach officer, Heather Brockbank, tells us the transition is bittersweet.
So every year we welcome 4 new Bahamas Environmental Steward Scholars. Last year we had Christopher Clark and Maya Lindman, which we are so happy to see go. Unfortunately, they have to leave us, but happily they're going to start their tertiary education.
Brief has a new round of Bahamas Environmental Stewardship Scholars. Grand Bahamian Farrah Flowers of Bishop Michael Eldon School in Freeport and Abaconian Journey Higgs of Windsor School in New Providence. As for what they can expect during their time with Brief,
we have our best scholars. We really try to get them as certified as possible, as equipped and skilled as possible. So we like to give them opportunities to work in organizations that aren't quite similar to ours. We call them sub-internship opportunities. So we like to send them to organizations that can give them a scuba certification or a reef rescue or a lifeguard certification so that they can take that and have that on their resume once they say to go on to tertiary education. So it's sort of a program that just keeps giving back.
reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first. I'm Marlena Leonard.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the U.S. has Russian warships en route to the Caribbean. Plus, Prince William gives an update on Kate's health. And Israel confirms deaths of 4 more hostages in Gaza. When our news returns. This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Senior United States officials said Wednesday the U.S. is tracking Russian warships heading to the Caribbean for military exercises. The ships may also visit Venezuela and Cuba. This move, amid rising tensions over Western support for Ukraine, is set to show Russia's global military presence. The U.S. military says it will monitor the drills expected to last through summer. Congress was briefed on the situation on Wednesday. Prince William provided an update on Kate Middleton's health this week, nearly 3 months after her cancer diagnosis. While speaking with World War II veterans in Portsmouth on Wednesday, William confirmed Kate is improving and expressed that she would have loved to attend. Kate announced her diagnosis in March after abdominal surgery in January and started preventative chemotherapy in February. She has been out of the public eye since. William also mentioned King Charles III, who was diagnosed with cancer this year, did not attend the D-Day 80th anniversary events due to health reasons. And the Israeli military confirmed the deaths of 4 hostages abducted by Hamas on October 7th. The victims, ages 51, 79, 80, and 85, were killed during an Israeli operation in Khan Yunis, Gaza. Their bodies are reportedly still being held by militants. The UK Foreign Office confirmed one of the deaths as relatives expressed sorrow, stating the men should have returned alive. UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron expressed condolences. Hamas's attack killed about 1,200 people and took 251 hostages. Around 120 remain unaccounted for. Well, the Bahamas has a delegation participating in the 77th World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland, where a series of strategic roundtables are being held. Delegates, partner agencies, civil society representatives, and WHO experts will discuss current and future priorities for public health issues of global importance. Senior Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Jillian Bartlett, noting that despite commendable efforts by the global community, polio actually remains a significant public health challenge in parts of the world. Dr. Bartlett says the Bahamas remains polio-free and the focus is on maintaining high population immunity and strong surveillance to detect and promptly investigate suspected cases.
The measures to ensure that no child is left behind, especially in vulnerable areas, include, but is not limited to, tackling vaccine hesitancy, misinformation and disinformation through multimedia public education. Regarding proper mobilization of required financial resources, a comprehensive funding plan outlining financial resources, including the cost of vaccines, surveillance, and operations, should be developed. The Bahamas agrees that the proposed strategic framework addresses needs of member states post-2023 and commits to strengthening immunization and surveillance programs.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was June 6th. Then in our news at 7:30, surviving a storm, why a local doctor is cautioning you to keep a good supply of medication, and why a union leader says the labor movement needs a major overhaul ahead of this year's holiday. When our news returns.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for...
If you want a real nice, tasty Bahamian dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the conch technician. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me where I yearn by gold. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me I yearn by Goldie's. Arawakis, king of conch. We 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 yearn by Goldie's. Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300. That's Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300.
Our news, it's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was June 6th. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history in 2012, then State Minister of National Security Keith Bell defended his right to carry a licensed firearm and admitted that both he and the National Security Minister were armed. This after then Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said at a press conference the day before that he had heard reports to that effect. Bell hit out at the opposition saying it was a non-issue and argued that he needed a firearm because the previous Ingram administration allowed the country to become a war zone.
Cabinet approves special licenses. I am part of cabinet, and if the former Minister of National Security didn't carry a firearm, then he ought to be asking himself, was he doing anything at all? Did he make the decisions that the country needed him to make, which could have perhaps kept this crime under control? Not whether or not why Keith Bell carry a firearm. I mean, it's just grasping for straws. It is unbelievable. It is unthinkable that they would attempt to make an issue about whether I carry a firearm or not.
Then June 6th, 2016, Bahamian mixed martial artist, professional boxer, bare-knuckle boxer, and actor Kevin Ferguson died in Coral Springs, Florida. Better known as Kimbo, he became noted for his role in mutual combat street fighting videos. In 2020, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, praised the Bahamas' reopening efforts post the onset of the global COVID-19 pandemic. PAHO country representative at the time, Dr. Esther de Gorville, warned the world was not out of the woods just yet.
Bahamas is at the halfway point of the 5-phase plan to restarting the economy. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has repeatedly said the decision on when to reopen is based heavily on the advice of medical experts.
But those decisions are made with the guidance of the emergency operating center or team that is giving technical advice.
And finally, in 2022, a viral video showing a dramatic police arrest on the Sydney Poitiers Bridge, which was thought to have been tied to an incident at a David Yurman store. In the video, armed police are seen on the bridge as two young males are on the ground in handcuffs. The footage showing officers searching the vehicle. At the time, police said it was simply a routine stop and search. All right, if you want to watch that historical recap again, and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs and, of course, Our News Bahamas on Facebook. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now with the latest headlines is our Marlena Leonard. Marlena Leonard, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
And happy pre-Labor Day.
Yes. Do you have any big holiday plans?
I do not at the moment,
Sometimes
which is
that's
a
nice.
good thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was a good thing because we've still got a couple of projects coming up that I've got to work on, and so I don't want to go and make plans just yet until we can finalize those. So, but definitely sleep.
There's room for spontaneity.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, Ken. So, a local doctor is cautioning you to keep a good supply of medication. Plus, why a union leader says the labor movement needs a major overhaul. Here are your latest headlines.
Tonight on Our News, drama in the House. Opposition leader Michael Pintard removed from the House of Assembly by police this afternoon after a heated exchange with the House Speaker. And left on the blocks, a local pastor calls for those who left his church's only bus on blocks after stealing its tires to come forward and seek forgiveness. And you've got mail. Or do you? We're looking at the fraudulent scam texts pretending to be the Postal Service and what you need to do to protect yourself. Plus, surviving a storm. We often think of the food, water, and batteries needed in a storm, but now a local doctor is saying there's one thing many often forget in preparation for a hurricane. Find out what it is. Our News Live at 7:30 is back in a moment.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard. Well, a shocking crime has left a local church's only bus on blocks after its tires were stolen. A post about the incident has gone viral, leaving many disgusted over the theft. But the church's pastors say they're willing to forgive the culprits. Our Joshua Williams has the story.
Left on blocks. It was not something this pastoral couple expected when they drove past their church property earlier this week. The tires and rims of their church van were gone. Dr. Valerie Strawn and Dr. Nelson Strawn co-pastored the True United Fellowship Ministries International Church on Faith Avenue. They shared a post about the theft sparking outrage on social media. The couple says they made the discovery on their way to church.
We found out in passing that 4 of the tires were missing. And when I saw that, I was in total shock as to what I've seen. No, it never happened before, and the reason why we parked the church bus so persons could see the construction of the True United site.
They add they're not surprised and feel the community's respect for the house of God has decreased over the years.
The young men does not have a value God's presence and the things that we are doing for the service of God. I don't think they have this respect.
Now the church had to pay for 4 brand new rims and tires, a small price they say when compared to the greater goal in mind.
We didn't plan for it, but it's something that we are doing for our members, those who do not have transportation. And we would allow them to use the bus if they find themselves without a trans.
And Strawn has this message for the culprits.
Just come here and say that I am sorry. I will forgive you. I would forgive you because, sometimes I believe certain condition or circumstances would cause some person to do some things that is unheard of.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
A 28-year-old man is behind bars after prosecutors say he played a role in a broad daylight triple shooting. Addison Hepburn from Dorset Street, Fox Hill, faces charges of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life concerning the June 1st incident. Mallory Bullard, Carlton Brown, and Jaden Newton were in a white Acura in front of a marina on East Bay Street when a gunman opened fire on them before fleeing in a Nissan Juke. Hepburn didn't have to plead to the charges when he appeared before the Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe. He was denied bail because the magistrate lacks jurisdiction to consider the bail for the offenses. Hepburn, however, can seek bail in the Supreme Court. He's next in court on October 1st to receive a voluntary bill of indictment. And opposition leader Michael Pintard was removed from the House of Assembly by police during a heated exchange that temporarily halted the budget debate. The drama unfolded after Pintard refused to yield on a point of order made during West Grand Bahama and Bimini MP Kingsley Smith's contribution. Pintard interrupted Smith, insisting he was not factual with his statements on the Davis administration's impact on West Grand Bahama. As the opposition leader continued making his point, it led to an exchange with House Speaker Patricia DeVoe, who suspended proceedings and directed officers to remove Pintard. DeVoe telling Pintard that he made his point and it was time for the West Grand Bahama MP to continue with his contribution. Here's what happened next.
The point is this, Madam Speaker.
No.
If the
point is this.
No, that's not the point.
The point is this.
That is not the point.
The point is this.
Madam
You made
Speaker,
your
I'm
point.
entitled.
You
No, I
said
did not make the
that
point. I did not make the point. I did not make the point. I did not make the point.
So we understand that.
I did not. I'm going to speak.
No, you don't tell me no. You don't tell me no. I am the principal officer in this place, and I am saying to you that I heard you. The world heard you, and you listed the fact that he was incorrect. Now, I heard you. I am citing Marco City persistently and willfully obstructing the business of the House. Can I now engage the Sergeant of Arms to have Marco City removed from the Honorable House?
To that, Pintard shouting, he is not moving. Then Pintard, St. Anne's MP Adrian White, and Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis all linked arms in solidarity.
Well, who wants to go with Marco City? Take them all.
Gotta be fair in here.
I am more than fair. I am more than fair. Y'all are unfair, and they're using the floor of this House for unfairness.
In preparation for hurricane season, we always remember to stockpile food and water. But what about medication? Tonight, a local healthcare provider has some tips on how to ensure you're safe this hurricane season. Berthany McDermott reports.
While you're stocking up your hurricane preparation kit, a local physician is reminding Bahamians to stock up on essential medication. Dr. Candice Bannister says the first thing you need is a first aid kit.
You should definitely have a first aid kit in your home. It should include a good antiseptic. It should also include antiseptics such as alcohol, betadine, Band-Aids, a tourniquet or something that you can tie to stop bleeding. Also bandages if there is bleeding, if there is a laceration or a cut.
She says you should also ensure your vaccinations are up to date, specifically tetanus. In the event of a hurricane, Dr. Bannister suggests you keep at least a month's supply of medication on hand.
So diabetics, they need to make sure, if they are on insulin, they need to make sure that they have proper storage just in case the electricity is disconnected during or after the hurricane, which means that just having a cooler with ice that you can put your medications in.
She's also suggesting you see your physician before the hurricane arrives. Multiple gastrointestinal illnesses can spread post-hurricane. These illnesses are mostly waterborne, but there are ways to prevent them.
If you are walking through bodies of water that may be contaminated by sewage, you need to make sure that you have on appropriate footwear. Okay. Also, too, make sure that you have adequate supply of drinking water in the home.
Now, while cholera and malaria are not issues for us here in the Bahamas, Dr. Bannister says Bahamians should be concerned about dengue fever post-hurricanes.
In preparation, you should assure that all of your bins or any receptacles are turned over. to prevent any mosquito-borne illnesses such as dengue. Also, after post-hurricane, wearing appropriate clothing and also wearing repellent.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Well, the rain seemed to be easing up today in favor of sunshine, and we've still got some warmer weather outside of our studios tonight. Joining us now is meteorologist Greg Thompson in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlena, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands. It's humid and muggy on the outside. 84 degrees is our current temperature. Winds out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is a humid 89 degrees. Satellite radar composite showing tropical moisture moving out of the Caribbean Sea, actually across Cuba and into the central Bahamas. That's all associated with an upper level low that's spinning just to the north of the Bahamas, and that's beginning to destabilize our atmosphere. That our other upper level system that was affecting us for the last couple of days, that's pulled out towards the east. But this one will keep some showers in the forecast. So we're looking for some showers tonight through tomorrow. So on the holiday, looks as though we may get some showers in the forecast. That's your quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, with Labor Day on the horizon, Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson calls for a major overhaul of the labor movement. And if you've received unexpected text messages saying you've got a package ready for pickup, don't engage. We've got an expert talking more top tips and what you can do to stop the messages. And the Bahamas Gospel Music Awards is back for its 4th year. We've got an inside look at what you can expect this weekend. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
As Labor Day approaches, President of the Trade Union Congress, Obie Ferguson, is calling for a major overhaul of the labor movement. It's no secret that in recent years, the Davis administration has faced repeated criticism from several unions that represent public service workers. There's also been more than a dozen protests and public spats between union leaders and government ministries. Just this week, the Union of Tertiary Educators Bahamas held a silent protest. Ferguson points to Section 29 of the Employment Act, which he says needs revision.
Is repressive in that as it stands, it is lacking in clarity and is used as a legislation nest by oppressors of the working people to deny them of their lawful compensation and damages when they are wrongfully or unfairly dismissed. After 35 years of service, the dismissed worker only gets 26 weeks damages if you are not a manager or a supervisor. That attitude is unacceptable.
The labor movement in the Bahamas has existed since 1961, and with the Randall Fox Parade set to be held tomorrow, Ferguson vows that they'll continue to fight for workers in the country. At the top of their list, pensions.
The labor movement must be the watchdog for the working people. We must speak truth to power. We must be the guardian for the oppressed and the indigent. We must become controllers of our pension funds and restructure them so that the working people would benefit from their own labor. The direction of our pension fund are controlled by oppressors. That must come to an end.
If you've received unexpected text messages saying you've got a package ready for pickup, don't engage. Last week, the Ministry of Energy and Transport issued a warning about fraudulent messages asking for personal information in order to pick up packages from the post office. These SMS texts are a form of scam called smishing, a play on the term phishing, where scammers try to trick you into giving them things like usernames, passwords, credit card numbers, and bank account information. Information Security Director at the Cable Bahamas Group of Companies, Shakira Johnson, says they've taken steps to block many of these numbers from the service.
So immediately when we are alerted, we started to investigate and put in the controls that we can to possibly help with preventing other subscribers from getting the message. However, these malicious attackers have been pretty persistent. They've even changed their strategy on us. Whereas we were just getting it in regular text messages, we are now getting it for iPhone users through iMessage and for Android users through their Google Cloud message. So now they've changed from just regular text. Now they're sending it to you over the internet. So there's not too many protections we can put in place for the messages that are reaching your phones from the internet. However, for those that are through SMS messages, we have a team that, the numbers are blocked from the network as best as possible.
The Information Security Director suggests blocking the number if you've received the scam through text and reporting to Apple or Google if you receive it through iMessage or Cloud Message. She advises not engaging with the scammers at all.
In no circumstance should you be clicking on the link. And if you do, I would advise you to really check your credentials, your important apps, like your banking apps. We don't know if this particular attack is even attempting to steal your credentials for the other applications on your phone. So we admonish you to be very, very vigilant. Be very cautious. If you know you did not initiate the request for a package, or you're not expecting a package, or even messages from this particular organization, do not respond to them, right? Be very cautious. Don't be curious in this case. We would like to warn the general public just to make sure that you as the user on the other end are doing your part to keep yourself safe.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, talented musicians, worship, and awards. That's all happening this weekend at the 4th Annual Bahamas Gospel Music Awards. Our Danielle Miller has the details.
Coming up in sports, the top chess players in the country gathered to compete in one of the landmark events on the sports calendar, and the NCAA D1 Track and Field Championships are underway.
Well, what you doing here?
I dig in the well to connect to the house of building for me and Mavis.
Why you just don't call water and sewage?
Call them for what?
To get your city water. You don't have to worry about your water cutting off when the power cut off. And your water's clean and safe, free from coliform bacteria.
Cauliflower what?
Call us at 302-5500 to make the switch from well water to city water for a more fresh, reliable water supply for you and your family.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Well, chess masters across the country are prepared for an exciting week of competition. Here now with Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Marknett. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Marlena, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknett. Let's do show. The top chess players in the country will gather once again to compete in the 2024 Orjan Lindra Memorial Tournament. The Bahamas Chess Federation and the Bahamas Chess Institute will host the event under the theme Chess in Paradise, running until June 12th at the Breezes Resort. The tournament will be a FIDE title norm chess event, and players will engage in a 9-round Swiss format.
Chess transcends mere recreation. It is both art and science. It shapes character, fosters critical thinking, and teaches invaluable life skills such as conflict resolution, skills that are indispensable in our society today.
The prize fund will be $18,000 for the Open tournament and $3,500 for the U1800 tournament. The tournament will be streamed live on the Chess 242 YouTube channel. Lynn Droth was a businessman and avid chess player who was a major contributor to the development of the sport locally.
We gather not only to commemorate the life of Arjun Lindroth, a passionate advocate of chess, who was a devoted member of our community. We are here to celebrate his enduring legacy through the timeless pursuit of this noble game.
The NCAA Division I Outdoor Track Field Championships are underway in Eugene, Oregon. Florida Gator sprinter Wanye McCoy advanced to the final in 3 events, the 100-meter, 200-meter, and a member of the 4x100-meter relay team. In the 100 meters, he clocked 10.15 seconds to finish 7th in the semifinals. He was an automatic qualifier in the 200-meter with a second-place finish in Heat 3 in 20.22 seconds. McCoy's 4x100-meter team ran a season's best 38.45 seconds to advance as the second fastest qualifier. It was also the 5th fastest time in school history. Terrence Jones and Antoine Andrews were members of the Texas Tech's 4x100-meter team to advance to the final. The Red Raiders ran a season's best 36.67 seconds to finish 2nd in their heat. Auburn Tigers sophomore Keyshawn Strawn finished 5th in the javelin with a throw of 74.95 meters. The Tigers school record holder in the event, Strawn was the highest finishing underclassman in the 24-man field.
The NACAC Athletic New Life Invitational will feature several intriguing matchups that track and field fans can look forward to. A last chance qualifier for the Paris Olympics, athletes will have a chance to compete for a total prize purse of $76,000. The meet is a part of the World Athletics Continental Tour Silver Label Series. As the host country and the B3As as the host federation, the Bahamas has an automatic entry into each event, giving athletes an opportunity to measure themselves against some of the top competitors in the region.
The local federation, the host federation, which is the B3As and the Bahamas, is entitled to an entry in every single event. Every event. I mean, it's automatic. Where there may be more than 1 or 2 Bahamians, and if the event is oversubscribed, then obviously we would have to go down to the second-ranked Bahamian to ensure that we get 2, but at least 1 per event will be accommodated.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. You excited to learn about chess all week?
Checkmate.
That'll do. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, the Bahamas Gospel Music Awards is back for its 4th year, but who will take home the hardware? Join us for an inside look with the event organizers. And the weather seemed to be clearing up today, hopefully in time for tomorrow's holiday celebrations. Greg is back with your extended weather forecast right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Welcome back to Our News. We had more sunshine than rain today for a change this week, but how are we looking going into the weekend? Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Marlena, and welcome back, everybody, for our final check of weather. We take a quick look at our water vapor imagery. That's basically showing the mid and upper level systems that are affecting the islands. First upper level trough that was affecting us for the last couple of days, that's pulled out towards the north and east and away from us. That's really affecting the Hispaniola and the Cuban area, the Puerto Rican area, pardon me. But we do have an upper level low. I'll notice if you see a little bit of a spin there, that's spinning across central Florida. That's helping to destabilize our atmosphere and it's bringing some moisture across the area. So we're looking at some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Some of those showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms will be strong to severe at times. So tomorrow being a holiday, looks as though we may get some showers in the forecast as this system continues to pull towards the north and east away from us, associated with that upper level low, and that will keep our showers in the forecast through and into the weekend. Taking a look at the tropics, everything is quiet out there. A couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt, not really showing any organization at this time. And of course, the tropics remaining quiet for the next 7 days, and that's the way we like it. Future forecast showing that moisture associated with that upper level low that's spinning to the north of us, mainly affecting the central Bahamas as we speak. Most of the activity will stay across that area throughout tonight and into tomorrow, but eventually, by tomorrow, we expect that system to be pulling towards the north and east and away from us, but that will drag a lot of that moisture across our area. So we're looking at, once again, for some showers in the forecast for your Labor Day holiday. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be southwest to south at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet. High tide is at 8:45 tonight. The low tide takes place at 3:17 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, the southeast southerly flow at 10 knots. Seas will be running 1 to 3 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, as that upper level low pulls out towards the north and east away from us, showers will be in the forecast tomorrow and Saturday. We have some clearing by Sunday. Temperatures will rebound back to near the 90-degree mark, and then we're looking for some low 90s for the early part of next week. Showers in the forecast by the end of next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
Thanks, Greg. Well, the Bahamas Gospel Music Awards is back for its 4th year. And like every year, dozens of gospel artists are waiting with bated breath to see who will take home the award in each category. Our Danielle Miller tells us more.
It is an award show dedicated to celebrating excellence within the gospel music industry, from traditionally composed music to rap, reggae, and rake and scrape. This Sunday at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center, the Bahamas Gospel Music Awards will put a spotlight on those artists.
There was a drought in the industry back in 2021. Well, actually in 2020. And I said, we need to do something to give our gospel artists here a little bit more inspiration and a boost for them to produce and push out more music. Not that we do what we do for accolades and, acknowledgement, but it's definitely for the honor and glory of God, of course. But just to give them that inspiration to continue doing what they're doing, spreading the message of Jesus Christ through their music.
The award stage will feature electrifying soul-shouting performances by Sherwin Gardner, E-Man, Hadassah Thompson, and so much more. A Lifetime Achievement Award will also be addressed to the Tabernacle Concert Choir. I encourage you to not only attend, but come dressed to impress, as there will be a pre-show live from the red carpet. And it's hosted by our very own Berthany McDermott, along with Mario Alamanza, at 5 p.m. until showtime. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Marlena Leonard. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.